Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hakim bin Ibrahim. I will talking a little bit about our company. Our company's name is Truebuild Engineering Sdn Berhad. So our company located at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and the vision of our company is to be a leading and trusted civil engineering company in Malaysia, committed to delivering sustainable infrastructure that supports community development and nation building. And our mission is first is to provide high quality engineering solutions that are efficient, innovative and economic viable. Second is to support national education and infrastructure goals through responsible project execution and client focused service. Third is to continuously improve through the adoption of advanced technologies and professionally best practice. Lastly is to foster a strong collaborative work environment that values integrity, safety and long-term impact on society. Okay, this is our organization of company. Project Director is Mr. Haziq Fikri. Project Manager is Mrs. Nur Shazwani. Site Manager Mr. Izral Azril. Structure Engineer is Mr. Alif Hakim. Procurement Officer is Ms. Izzati Balkis. Lastly, Finance Manager is Mr. Hakim Rahim. Okay, next is our background of study. We are planning the construction of a community college in Johor. This project supports Malaysia's goal of improving technical and vocational education. Community college provide affordable, skill-based training for youth, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. They help meet the growing need for skilled workers in fields like engineering, IT and hospitality. As project engineers, our team is responsible for conducting an economic evaluation of the proposed project. 2 potential sites in Johor have been selected for analysis. Our goal is to identify which site offer the best value from both economic and financial perspective. We will use the benefit cost ratio BCR method to evaluate project feasibility. The analysis will include interest rate, estimate benefits and long-term costs. We will also assess a local construction company financial performance using its latest financial statements. This includes reviewing its income, balance sheet and cash flow over the past 2 years. Our study aims to determine if the project should move forward based on both economic data and company capability. We will also highlight potential risks and suggest solutions based on engineering economy principle. In the long run, this project support community development and build a skilled workforce in Malaysia. Thank you.
Okay, so next for the financial performance summary. As you can see in the table shown that the revenue dropped by 17.8% from 2.1 billion for final year 2022 to 1.73 billion for final year 2023. Okay, next for the net profit turned into a loss of 177.8 million in final year 2023 compared to a profit of 139.3 million in final year 2022. Okay, next is the table for balance sheet highlight. It shows that the total asset increased slightly to 8.67 billion in final year 2023 and total liabilities rose by 13%, indicating increased reliance on debt. And lastly, the equity declined from 3.91 billion to 3.69 billion. So next for the table cash flow highlight, it shown that the operating cash flow declined from 213 million to 134 million. Next, the investing cash flow improved from a net outflow to a net inflow. Financial cash flow reversed from a large outflow to a small inflow due to new borrowings. Next, we go to the profitability ratios. So there are 3 types, which is the first one is net profit margin. The second one is gross profit margin, and lastly is return on asset. So the first one is net profit margin. So net profit margin, this ratio shows how much profit is left from revenue after all expense, taxes and interest are paid. As you can see on the tables, Truebuild Engineering Sdn Berhad faced a net loss of 2.9 million in final year 2023 compared to a net profit of 1.7 million in final year 2022. This led to a negative net profit margin of 12.7% in final year 2023. The drop in performance was mainly due to a slower construction progress and higher costs for material and labor. In contrast, final year 2022 had a positive net profit margin of 8.2%, which was considered low to moderate. So next we go to the gross profit margin. So this ratio shows how much profit is made after covering the cost of goods sold. So in final year 2023, Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd gross profit margin fell from 12.2% to 2.6% due to higher production and material costs, showing poor cost control. So next we go to the return on assets, ROE. So this ratio measures how well a company uses its asset to make profits. A higher return on assets means better use of resources. So in final year 2023, Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd had a negative ROE, down from 2.1% in final year 2022. This shows the company didn't use its assets effectively and needs to improve assets management to stay competitive. So as you can see, there is a graph of liquidity ratio. So it have cash ratio, quick ratio, and current ratio. For cash ratio, measure a company's ability to pay short-term debt using only cash or its most liquid assets. Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd cash ratio rose from 0.09 in final year 2022 to 0.14 in final year 2023, showing better cash management. Next, we go to the quick ratio. So for Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd, quick ratio fell slightly from 0.75 in final year 2022 to 0.74 in final year 2023, mainly due to a 12% increase in current liabilities. Okay, so let's say we go to the current ratio. So in final year 2023, Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd current ratio dropped slightly by 0.02 from final year 2022, showing a small decline in liquidity. However, since it remains above 1, the company can still meet its short-term obligation.
Okay, we go to the efficiency ratio. Inventory turnover improved from 2.61 to 2.84 due to better inventory clearance. Receivable turnover declined from 1.97 to 1.61, indicating slower collection. Asset turnover dropped from 0.25 to 0.2, reflecting underutilized asset. Inventory turnover ratio. In FY 2023, Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd improved its inventory turnover ratio by 0.3 times compared to FY 2022. This was mainly due to a 120.3 million ringgit reduction in completely property inventory, driven by proactive marketing efforts such as roadshow, exhibitions, and attractive sale package for potential homeowners. Receivable turnover ratio. In FY 2023, Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd account receivable turnover ratio dropped from 1.97 to 1.61, indicating slower collection of payment. The company took about 42 days longer to collect receivable compared to FY 2022, suggesting inefficiencies in its collection process or financial strain among its consumer. Asset turnover ratio. In FY 2023, Strubil Engineering Sdn Bhd asset turnover ratio decreased by 0.05 times compared to FY 2022. This was due to a 40% increase in total asset, mainly from higher contract assets and cash balance, while revenue growth lagged behind largely because of slower construction progress. Leverage ratio. Debt to equity ratio increased from 1.13 to 1.35, signaling higher financial risk. Interest coverage ratio fell from 2.03 to 0.60, indicating inability to cover interest expenses. Debt to equity ratio D over E. In FY 2023, Strubel Engineering Sdn Bhd debt to equity D over E ratio rose from 1.13 to 1.35, indicating increased reliance on debt financing. This was due to a 13% rise in total liabilities from 4.4 billion ringgit to 4.98 billion ringgit, mainly from higher payables and borrowings, signaling greater financial risk. Interest coverage ratio. In FY 2023, Strubel Engineering Sdn Bhd reported a negative interest coverage ratio of 0.60, down from 2.03 in FY 2022. This indicated that the company and earnings were insufficient to cover its interest expenses, reflecting potential financial instability and challenge in meeting debt organization. Okay, we go to the summary. In 2023, Strubel Engineering Sdn Bhd faced financial challenge marked by rising liabilities and declining profitability, while total assets slightly increased. Liabilities rose by 13%, leading to a drop in equity from 3.91 billion ringgit to 3.96 billion ringgit. Operating cash flow declined from 230 million to 134 million, reflecting struggle in core business performance. Through investing and financing cash flow improved due to asset sales and new borrowing. Strubel is actively pursuing strategies like asset monetization, inventory clearance, and potentially equity raising to reduce debt and improve a long-term financial stability. Navigating cost pressure, valuability, and operational efficiencies remain key to the company's future success.
Okay. Next, my name is Israel Shuris Azril, and I want to present to you about project management. And the first one is a financial institution for business financing we use for our project. Is a public bank. The public bank policy is a loan amount for online application is 10,000 until 250,000. And for the made at a branch, 50,000 until up to 1,500,000. And loan repayment for this policy is 7 years and have a rate. The rate of interest value is 5%. Okay, next, as you can see, for the proposed project, for the total cost, benefit, and operational and maintenance, for site A, total cost is 14,630,000. For site B is 19,112,000. For the benefits, for site A is 16,236,100,000. For site B is 16,236,100,000. And the last one is O&M. For site A is 545,000, and the site B is 598,000 for the total cost, benefit, and O&M. Alright. Next, for the calculation of BCR, we use a table of compound interest factor, use 5%, and use and that we use is 7 years for loan repayment. And to calculate BCR, so we got a series present worth factor is a 5.786 and a capital recovery factor 0.1728. So next, to calculate the BC ratio, BCR, the first one is for the present word. We use two methods. The first method is conventional and the last one is modified method. So the first one is conventional BCR with PW. For the side A, we got 5.28, that more than 1, so project is acceptable. For side B is we got a 4.16, also more than 1, so project is acceptable. For the modified BC ratio, as you can see, we use another formula, and we got for side A is 6.42, more than 1, so project acceptable. And for side B, also the project is acceptable, that we got 4.773, that more than 1. For the annual word benefit cost for annual word, use the same like present word, use a conventional method and modified method. So the conventional method, also project acceptable, we got 5.28, more than 1, and side B we got a 4.16, more than 1, project acceptable. And the last one is modified. For the side A, we got 6.21, more than 1, and the side B we got a 4.74, more than 1. So the project also, all the project for the side A and side B, for the all method is project is acceptable. Alright, the last one for the project management is to compare economic evaluation versus company performance. As you can see, have several aspects, such as project feasibility BCR, for the BCR conventional and modified, for both sides, revenue, profit, and debt, challenge, overall message. As you can see at the slide, this is the difference, or we call comparing the economic evaluation with company performance before. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Alif Hakim bin Syarul Zaman. So about the principle of engineering economy. In this, in my part is first I will discuss the economy of evolution. So side E is the best choice because of given the highest of return on investment. So benefit of BCR cost ratio. So side A given the 5.28 on the PW and 6.21 on the AW. So it's a 4.16 PW and then the 4.74 AW. So side A has the lowest cost and a better financial performance overall. So cost comparison. So as you can see, the side A is only 14.63 million, and then side B is 19 and 11 million. So the operation and maintenance O&M cost is on the side A is 545,000, and then to side B is 5,598,000. So our group is choosing the side A to save the money and allows better use of funds. So as you can see, the lower financial risk is on the side A is needs less investment and has a better loss control. So and the future expansion in the side A can easily support the future upgrades and the new facility. So side A can generate the income from the student fees, training, and consultancy. So boost the local economy through the job creation, skills development, and the better infrastructure. So conclusions, side A is the most strategic and the cost-effective option. Okay, so next slide, I will present about the 7 principles of engineering economy that apply to this project. So first one is develop alternative. So what is the develop alternative is we have to compare the side A and the side B by using the BCR analysis. So next is focus on the difference. So what is the difference on the between the two projects? So so we have to study cost and benefit, different cost, revenue, and also so that from that we have to compare which one is the best. So next one is use a consistent viewpoint. So use the same assumptions for both sides. For example, like interest rate, so that as we can see, based on the previous slide, I already explained about the side A is the best option, right? So that we have the next is use a common unit of measure. So we have used the same common measure unit. So likely on this, all amount is calculated in ringgit Malaysia for easy comparison. So next slide is consider margin, cost and benefit. So from this perspective is we got the side A save the 4.48 million and is more efficient in the long run. So next slide and next part is look at the long-term impact. So what's the impact that we have to face it? So side A is supports a long-term financial health and benefits Johor economy. So last but not least is make uncertain decision explicit. So what is it? We have to consider skills like the inflation and including the ways to reduce them. For example, like contingency plan. So that what happen, we have to plan properly. So that's all for me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aziz Fikri and I'll be discussing the conclusion of our project. In regards to Site A and Site B, the initial cost for Site A requires RM 4.48 million less initial cost when compared to Site B. For the annual operating and maintaining cost, Site A is cheaper to maintain with an annual operating cost of 545,000, while Site B requires 598,000. For the benefits, both sides provide the same benefit of 16.236 million. In regards to the benefit cost ratio for the present worth, Site A produces a 5.28, while Site B gives out a 4.16. For the annual worth of the benefit cost ratio, Site A also leads with 6.42 over 4.73. In conclusion, Site A is preferred than Site B because Site A requires a lesser initial cost, cheaper to maintain, gives out the similar benefits for both sides, and based on the benefit cost ratio for the present worth and annual worth, Site A is more viable. So therefore, Site A will be chosen based on better return of investment and cost efficiency.